you give a homeless person $5.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But listen, if you got 50K, 100K, 150K worth of debt, I'm sorry, homeless man. I don't have it.
You ain't too far off.
Yeah, I could be right with you.
Right.
But once you have gone from intense to intentional to now free and at peace, you can give like nobody else. What's going on, people? This is Nigel.
This is Brad.
This is the Uplift Fitness Club podcast.
Oh man, what we getting into? 7 baby steps.
7 baby steps, man. What you know about it?
7 baby steps. Shout out to Dave Ramsey.
Shout out, man.
I used to watch. I don't know how I came across. You know, when you're on YouTube, it just has that recommendation. Yeah, I think that's how I came across. When I was trying to learn about my finances at the time, like, man, I need to learn why I can't save more than $645. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm watching all these videos, you know, credit cards, savings, what else? Just how to make some money. And I came across Dave Ramsey. And the first thing that I actually went back to, you know, you find a channel, you click on their channel, and you just go back to look at all their videos.
Old stuff, yeah.
Right. So I'm like, man, you know, this guy got a pretty big platform. I'm trying to see why people listening to him. You know, who is he? Get some data on him. And I came across that 7 baby steps and went back and watched that episode. Just how to get started. So step 1, right, out of the 7 steps for the 7 baby steps is to save $1,000, right? Save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund, right?
Which solved the problem of how do I the way that you save, let me help the listeners real quick. The way that you save more than $650 is by saving more than $650. It's more likely you buying a bunch of stuff you don't need.
Yeah. My biggest thing
Here you go.
Was
Here you go. I already know what it is.
What else say?
Food, man.
Man, I'm eating McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating McDonald's every night. Every night. It was religion. I'm not even hungry. I got to get McDonald's. I got off work. I'm hungry. I don't care if my stomach tell me or not. I don't care what's going on.
What you was getting?
I was getting the 10-piece chicken nuggets.
Oh man.
Large fry.
Right.
3 chocolate chip cookies.
Dang.
3 chocolate chip cookies, $1.
Dang.
Had to warm it up too. Now you gotta
take it home. Yeah. You gotta take it home.
Enjoy that.
Get that thing in the microwave so they almost falling apart. Yeah.
And then I used to get. They don't even have this no more. That's how I know I'm an OG. They don't even have the high C orange.
They don't have that no more.
They don't got that no more, man. All they got is soda now.
Damn, that's high.
I think the only closest thing to juice is this the iced tea. Quote me wrong. I don't really go to McDonald's no more.
Yeah,
but
you gotta level it up, man.
Yeah.
You can't be putting that in your body. That's not how you go to the next level.
McDonald's only see me if it's 4, 5 in the morning, when I'm moving. I just move.
When there ain't no other options.
You gotta stop and get some breakfast real quick.
Hey, look, the one that was getting me was 7-Eleven, man.
And that's the worst. Cause they gonna tax you. They
upcharging everything. I'm talking about a bottle of water, $2.
You go to the grocery store, you get a pack.
For $3, you get 30 of them for $3. I'm going to 7 because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, right? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. So really, it's your habits. It's not even really how you spend, or it's not what you spend on. It's how you spend.
I was scared looking at my bank account.
Right.
You know, it has that diagram where you can see how you spend it. And I'm telling you, I think it had a pie chart.
They had that?
Yeah, on
I seen it too.
On USAA.
Well, Bank of America had one.
Yeah, so they had a pie chart. I opened it up, right, to see my monthly spending. Like, dang, where's all my money going, man? I mean, I know I wasn't making a lot of time. You know, I'm making
like $1,200 a month. Yeah.
I mean, for the year, bring home, maybe $10K or something for the year. But it's like, yo, I ain't got no bills.
Right. So you should at least be saving.
I should have at least 5, 2, 4, 2 2, 1, give me something. I got $645.36. I don't know where my money
Faithfully. Can't
year
pass
after
it.
year after year. And this happened at least, what, 2-3 years?
This is probably like 3-4 years for me.
3 years for sure.
Since I started working, till I was 20.
Can't save nothing.
2.
I'm talking about as soon as you get it, blowing it. Get it, blow it. Get it, blow it. So yeah, man.
You said you looked at the chart.
I looked at the chart and I seen all my habits all my money were going to food. Like I'm eating good. I mean, I had random days. I'm going to Red Lobster just cause like I'm gonna go ahead and go get me something to go, right?
To go.
I was getting something to go at restaurants all the time.
Oh my god!
So that's $20. I'm gonna go to Olive Garden. I'm gonna get me some soup. Give me a nice meal.
Oh
I'm getting full course meals.
Yeah.
Instead of just going home,
and eating what's in the
cooking
fridge.
something that's there, that's for free, right? Because I wasn't even putting groceries in the house at the time. I'm going out, coming home with Olive Garden bags, Red Lobster bag, whatever restaurant else we had on the strip.
You know what's crazy, bro?
Yeah.
With the more money that I have made and saved, the more bland my diet has gotten.
Hey, look, mom's called me the other day. She's like, "What you eat for dinner?" I mean, a bowl of cereal.
Man, I was talking to my friend the other day, bro.
Yeah.
I was eating salmon and oatmeal.
Hey.
Because
hey.
I'm eating this because I needed protein and I needed carbs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got salmon.
Yeah.
I don't want to make no rice. It's gonna take too long. Pasta. I don't want to make oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
I need it right now.
Man.
I don't care. But back when I was making $10K as a RA on campus, I'm looking up how can I spend $300 on a dinner.
Yeah.
I'm just gassed it.
Yeah.
$120 on a dinner. How can I went 3-4 courses that I heard they have a very good pie. So I'm gonna get the appetizer. I need there's too many choices. I need 2 different appetizers. Then I need 3 entrees between 2 people. Now I need
that's
2 desserts.
Thing too. For the guys, that's not making a lot of money, right? And you're trying to learn how to save, put away some dollars. As gentlemen, right? We the ones paying for the dates.
It's flipping though.
It's putting money on. It is changing. It's changing.
It's flipping.
But it's still, in that young mindset.
That's at least initially. That's the expectation.
Right. So that my money, a lot of during those days too, while I was working, I was in a relationship. So all meals on me. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, get whatever you want.
Dang.
Whatever you want. $50, $60, whatever.
And you was making what?
Making like 12, 11, probably 8.
Just because of tradition.
Right. Go ahead. Hey. Don't worry about it.
It's crazy.
Appetizer. Drinks.
We're not even looking at the price.
Right. They ain't even worry about the price.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what would you say is the biggest thing? I know awareness, right? Paying attention to where your money is going to.
Yeah, you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it. We talk about this on.
And that might be painful. That was hard for me to see that.
It was very hard.
That was hard for me to see.
I talked about it before, bro. When I looked at my chart, Bank of America, it told me that I was spending $150 more than I was making.
You looking at the chart now?
That's right. Not even mathematically.
Yeah, it's not right.
Possible, but what it was is that I would get like a windfall of cash, like through a what's it called when you in school? You get a refund.
Okay.
At the beginning of the semester, because you got more aid or more grants than you needed, so you get a check for that, $2,000-$3,000. Then tax time come. If it's the spring, I get the refund and I get a tax return. So I'm sitting on like $4,500, and I'm getting like $1,000 a month at that time, and I'm spending $1,200, making $1,000, spending $1,200, and by that time next year, I'm in a negative where I got $500 to my name.
Just that quick.
Because I haven't done anything but eat my money. So
all the way.
The awareness, and then it comes down to the application. We got our system,
right?
Awareness, planning, execution, and capacity building.
Yeah.
So that model is absolutely applicable here, but the first step of the 7 baby steps is save that $1,000. What is the specific name for it?
For your emergency fund.
emergency fund, right? But it's like a baby emergency fund.
Right.
Because realistically, your emergencies, if you broke, first off, you don't have no money to begin with. Because the idea behind the 7 baby steps is to get you out of debt and to get you on the track to building financial peace.
Right. That first step is basically a small insurance policy for yourself for when things can get a little funky.
That's a tremendous way to look at that insurance policy.
You don't have to get crazy because everybody knows things can be super stressful when you ain't got no money and something that's coming up. So that's just something for your mental. One, right, will release some stress from your mental health, right? And then 2, I mean, the money is there, the capital is there for you to make a move quick and, staying on track with whatever you're doing, whether it's continue to save, going to the next step.
Right. Well, the next step would be to attack your debt. Right. So the strategy that they use is called the debt snowball. And that's basically organizing your debt in a list from smallest to largest and then knocking them off one by one while maintaining the minimum balance on all of your accounts outside of the one that you're chunking away at. So let's say you got a $500 credit card that's in default, or maybe it's not in default yet. You got $500 on the credit card, you got $2,000 in medical bills, you got $10,000 on student loans, and maybe you got, what else? $20,000 car loan, right? So the first one you would pay off is that $500 credit card. You're gonna get that out the way. That's easy for most people. Most people can cut back on a few things that they didn't need. One thing we didn't mention is they also prescribe doing the every dollar budget, which is basically, combing through your account history for the past 3 or 4 months, seeing what your spending habits are, eliminating anything that you don't need. The thing that they use to describe this phase of the plan, the 7 baby steps, is called Gazelle Intensity. And anybody who watched the Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, any of that, you ever seen a lion chasing the gazelle? Man, that gazelle, boy, they juking, boy, they look like Barry Sanders out there, LaDainian Tomlinson, like they cutting, they running as fast as they can. They're not leaving anything on the table. So at this phase in your plan and in your development, when you're trying to create a lifestyle change that's permanent, it's like we can't hedge your bet. You can't say, I need to hold on to this way of existing. I have to have my morning coffee No, if you don't need it, if it ain't food, shelter, expenses for your kids that they have to have, it can't be bought at this stage. And typically, from what I hear on his show, this phase doesn't last more than 3 to 5 years, sometimes 7, but that's like the outward limit, right? So we're in the stage that we already did the every dollar budget. We got that 1,000 saved. Now we're on step 2, which is the debt snowball. So we have attacked the first $500 credit card payment, and we got that out the way, let's say in 2 months, because we had a $250 cushion, you know what I'm saying? But now we eliminated that debt. The next one is the $2,000 worth of medical bills. Okay, let's say because we was carrying the minimum balance on the $500 credit card, we freed up an extra $100, right? So before we had a $250 cushion, now we have a $350 cushion because we don't have that credit card expense. He recommends, first off, cutting that credit card up, because what you'll find out later in this is his whole master plan is to get you completely away from financing anything. It's either you got it or you don't. So now we got a $350 cushion and we got a $2,000 expense, which is the next phase of the debt snowball. Okay, we attacked that. $350, that means in 6 to 7 months we've paid off that $2,000 medical expense. And all the while you're building wins, right? You're increasing your capacity. It sounds real similar to what we be talking about, right? So you're increasing your capacity, right? We done knocked out $2,500 worth of debt. You got $10,000 in student loans. Okay, so you was carrying the minimum balance on the credit card. You freed up $100. You was carrying the minimum balance on that $2,000 medical expense. Okay, now you freed up, let's say, an extra $200. So now it's $250 plus that $300 that you freed up. So you have a cushion now, a monthly cushion of $550. You got $10,000 worth of debt. That means 2 years. I mean, two months you're gonna pay $1,100. All right. So that means in about 22 months? Is that what that is? 2 months, 1,100 times 10. It's about 20 months. Now you done paid off your student loans. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 10,000 is low for student loans, but we just gonna call it that. Okay, this is a good profile. Some people got a $200,000 debt situation, but if you got $200,000 debt, I hope you got a good job. Okay.
Hope there's some doctor stats.
Exactly. So now we done knocked out the student loans, and we're only 2.5 years into this process, and the last one that we have is the car note. Now, all the while we've been paying on this car, so instead of it being 20K, it might be more like 15. But because we got rid of the student loans, we got rid of the credit card, we got rid of the medical expense, we now have $1,000 cushion. You only got $15,000 left on this car.
Right.
15 months, the car is gone. So in 3 3/4 years, you've eliminated $35,000 or so worth of debt, when you was probably gonna be paying the minimum balance on all of those things at least for the next 7 to 8 years, at least. Most people pay on stuff like that for a long time. So then we free and clear of all debt. What's next?
Good to go. Now you want to go ahead and polish up your savings account, right? You want to. For me, what was Ramsey with? I think he calculates
3 to 6.
3 to 6 months worth of savings for in your emergency fund. But I just calculated off of rent, right? 3 months worth of rent. That's how I do mine.
Man, you need to up your. You don't need to.
Yeah.
But go ahead though. Tell them why.
3 months worth of rent, and then living expenses on top of the rent. So it's food that I'm buying.
Right.
Whatever I'm going out, just the average monthly expenses that I would spend as normal. Just 3
that's
months
what it is.
Yeah. But that's what you was doing?
Yeah, that's what you're doing. It's 3 to 6 months.
Okay, well, I done got it from him, so some of the things, I be taking things as my own at some point. But
so let's say that it costs you $3,000 to run your household for a month.
Yeah.
Then that would mean at the low end, after you done cleared out your debt,
right.
The low end you're gonna save $9,000. High end you're gonna save $18,000. But the beauty of this part of the program is that it starts to your spending power starts to increase dramatically with every hurdle that you get over. Mm-hmm. So now, before you only had a $250 cushion because you was carrying all this debt, and now we have no debt. Right. So now instead of a $250 cushion, you might have a $1,500 cushion. You ain't got no debt. You ain't no other bills outside of your necessities. So if you got a $1,500 cushion, you can build up that $9,000 to $18,000 in 6 months to a year. So most people I know, they don't have 5 digits saved. That's just the reality of the lack of financial education and security within Americans. Mm-hmm. So but once you free that money up, you don't owe nobody nothing. You can breeze through this third stage, and then this is where we get to
the bread,
the domination.
Butter.
This is where we get to the financial freedom that everybody's always talking about.
This is step 4.
Step 4.
Which is invest 15%. 15%
right.
of your household income into retirement.
Right. That is huge, man. That right there, bro.
In other words, go buy the Bitcoin, get rich. Nah.
Because this is the intentionality. So the first 3 steps, or maybe it's just the first, I don't know exactly where it stops. But the first few steps are Gazelle Intensity. Mm-hmm. Now, once you get rid of your debt, you go to intentionality, right? Mm-hmm. So as opposed to, this is like life or death, and this debt could consume me, both psychologically and physically. Like you could lose your house because you have so much debt that you can't really keep up with it. Then you're depressed, and then everything goes into default. Now your credit score is bad, and you lose everything, and you can't get it back. You filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It's a slippery slope when you got all this debt, right?
Right.
Now we don't have any debt, anything fogging our brain, any black clouds over our head. Mm-hmm. We can go to intentionality. So we tell the job, automate that thing, like we've been talking about.
Right.
I make $60K a year, right? I don't want 10. Well, how much is 15% of $60K is is 9,000. So let's just say off the top, take 10. So divide 10 by 12, boom, that's 800 a month. That's really like 400 a check if you get paid 2 times a month. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna take out 400 a check, right? As a person making 60K, that means you're gonna make what? 2,500 a check before taxes. After taxes, probably gonna be more like 1,800 a check, right? But when you account for that, right, you take that money out and put it into your retirement, it decreases your tax liability. So whereas you were in a $60,000 tax bracket, now you're in the $40,000 or $50,000 tax bracket. So you're getting taxed less. You're putting money into your future. By this time, you 4 or 5 years into the process, you should have somebody on your team that's helping you. You should be on the way to a relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's a different podcast for a different time. Right. But let's just say you're able to collaborate with somebody. Now y'all exponential at this point. Both of y'all done got rid of all y'all debt. You know, you can run the household based off of combining your income potentially. And it's like, it's nothing for you to put away that $10K a year. And now you're investing, you know, and once you should be increasing your capacity every year. So that means your earnings should be going up. You should be taking courses. You should be, applying for new positions. And let's say 10 years into you investing in your retirement, what's the next step in this thing?
Next step would be to save for your children's college fund. And that might be a little soon for super young adults.
Yeah, if you ain't got no kids.
You ain't got no kids going
on. A lot of people stay at baby step number 4
right.
for a long time because you don't have kids to invest in their college fund. So that's fine. Most people, they
can skip that, go straight to
paying off their home.
Paying off that home.
Exactly. So if you don't have kids, the next thing you're gonna do is start chunking away at this home. Okay, but this is not. We have to get every single dollar we possibly can. This is like, okay, instead of paying $1,000 a month on my mortgage, I'm gonna pay $1,200, and you'll be surprised what an extra $200 on principal will do in expediting the amount of time you can pay your house off.
Right.
On top of
that amount of interest that you'll be paying.
Say that louder so the people will hear what you're talking about.
You could limit the amount of interest that you'll be paying on the home. Save you a lot of money.
Yeah, most people don't really understand. I don't even fully understand how interest is calculated, but from what I understand, interest is front loaded on a mortgage. So if you got a 30-year mortgage, them first 5 to 7 years, you're pretty much only paying interest.
Yeah.
So if you can get a head start on paying off
your principal, that's how it works from what I know.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you can, pay your mortgage, but also throw them some money on the principal every single month, then you're decreasing the amount of interest that you're being charged. And you can, for real, man, you can pay off a house in half time, like 10 years, sometimes 7, 8 years, especially if you're increasing the amount of money you're making per year. So, if you got kids, this is the time where you can open up a 529 college savings plan for them, right? And this is how you impact generational wholesale change for your family. Because now the next person in your lineage is not going into their adulthood with $50,000 worth of debt that they don't even know how they're gonna pay. It's like we get into this cycle when we were taught, you gotta go to college. A lot of people took heed to that like I did and financed away tens of thousands of dollars that they didn't even have. I don't know about you, but if I could do that, if you was in my shoes with the information you knew now, it ain't no way you would take that deal, bro. Especially for the degree that some people get. Like, if you're gonna be a doctor, I get it. Especially some of them doctors, they're making off the rip. Like, as soon as you become a doctor, $300,000-$400,000.
Yeah.
But if you're going to school for the arts, you're going to school for Africana studies.
Yeah. And this is a little side note. A lot of parents, they know that, right? So my mom's, right, a lot of foreigners that I know, they tend to push, and Americans too, like push their kids into fields that they know will make graduated, make a lot of money.
Right.
They never really elaborate on, we want you to go to school, but only for this
things.
Particular,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I used to always confused, like, all right, you say you want me to go to school, but like, I got to do just these 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
So like, what's the point? Like, why are these degrees on different, playing fields?
Yeah, you know what? It's certain. I don't understand exactly why.
Yeah.
I think the previous generation kind of didn't feel the need to explain everything to children, and I definitely understand, because children can be, they can be a lot sometimes. You don't feel like I should have to explain everything.
Just do it.
But when you go into any contract, right, or any agreement, any relationship, it's best to be informed about, anything that you're entering. So the better that you can prepare your child to understand exactly what they're getting into, the better outcome that they're gonna have. So it's all about intentionality, man. This plan is literally a surefire way for you to become a millionaire. Like, and this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a 10 to 20 year strategy. And depending on what your income is, what your ambition is, whether you're able to be, growth minded and expand the amount of ways you can make money, you could be a millionaire by 35 on this plan. You could be a millionaire by 40. But I know a lot of people who say that retirement is stupid, or you can't get rich off of retirement plans, and they don't have $100,000. They don't have $50,000.
Right.
But I know for a fact that the market rise. So this is what it is, people. The average return on the market for the past 100 years, on average, this is including the Great Depression, including the stock market collapse in the 70s with Nixon, including the 2008 housing crash, all of that, right? Including the pandemic, was just happened last year when it dropped 30%. The average return on the stock market, this is a regular index fund, SPY, VTI, go look them up. You could look it up for yourself. 8% a year. 8%. Really is 12% is the average, I believe. But 8% adjusted for inflation. So a $10,000 investment will double if you put nothing else into the market. If you invest $10,000 today in SPY, which is an index fund for the S&P 500, the top 500 American companies that are publicly traded on the stock market. If you invest $10,000 today, in 9 years, I did the math on this so many times because when I figured it out, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
Okay. In 9 years' time, the 10,000 will be 20,000. Okay, barring unforeseen, catastrophic events of epic proportion that have never been seen outside of the Great Depression, was spanned for about 10 years. Yeah. Okay, but then just wait another 10, it's going to double. Okay. Yeah. $10,000 in 10 years, it'll double. 10 more years, it'll be 40,000. 10 more years, it'll be 80,000. Okay, that's 30 years. All you did was invest 10K. We done taught you how to save 10K in 1 year. Yeah. Which means if you could do it for 1 year, you could do it every year.
Right.
Okay, and if you increase your earning, you can save more than 10K. You put away 10K a year on a $60,000 salary, which happens to be the example we just gave y'all. It will double every 10 years, and you're putting in 10 every single year. So that 10K that doubled, I don't even know what the math is, bro. Just know in 10 years, you will have put up 100,000 in your cash, and your initial investment will have doubled, and you made 8% every single year on average on every 10K that you put in. It's compound interest. It's like, I can't even articulate how beneficial it is for people to invest now and invest as much as they can in things that are insulated by the market. So you don't want to invest 50% of your investing power into things like Forex, into things like day trading, into things like Bitcoin, because you don't know what the performance is. It's too volatile. You know what I'm saying? Investing 10% of your portfolio into Forex or into Bitcoin, I can't argue with that. But don't be an idiot as a person who's making decent money and wrap up all your money in something that's not supported.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By a global economy that's deregulated, that somebody could hack into your system and take your Bitcoin.
Unless you ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah, man.
Then go ahead and throw the whole thing in there.
Yeah, you got to do as much as you can to give yourself and your family a leg up.
You touched on that 7th baby step, which was build wealth.
Oh man.
And give. Get on that give, man. You gotta give back.
I forgot about that.
Can't make it to the top and don't tell nobody.
Yeah. Hey, on my screen it only showed a 6. I didn't even see that. I didn't keep that 7.
Come on, man.
It's
gonna be real lonely.
The 7th step is
what J. Cole said.
What is that?
He said something about you gotta have his peoples with him in first class. Like I can't remember.
I don't remember it.
I don't think I can say the whole line. I kind of remember it right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think you gotta say the N word in it. Yeah. But this 7th step, man, it's like most of us don't even get to that point.
Yeah.
Most people when they give, it's like
we're gonna get there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Ain't got no choice.
It's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
But most people give now, before they actually reach this step, because they feel like obligated to give, or they want to feel good in that moment, so they give. Maybe tip your waiter $30, but you really can't afford that.
Yeah.
You really you give a homeless person $5.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But listen, if you got 50K, 100K, 150K worth of debt, I'm sorry, homeless man. I don't have it.
You ain't too far off.
Yeah, I could be right with you.
Right.
But once you have gone from intense to intentional to now free and at peace, you can give like nobody else. And it's like not only to your kids, not only to your lineage, you can literally change people's lives.
And it's definitely, man, there's different ways to give without necessarily giving your last.
Absolutely.
Or, it could be information that you're giving out. It could be, just not necessarily professional advice, but some good game that you're giving out.
Hey man, it was a article about a guy who went to Morgan in the 60s. Actually they have a building named after them.
Okay.
Calvin and Tina Tyler.
Yeah.
They just gave Morgan State $20 million. He used to be a UPS driver in the 60s.
Yeah.
He graduated from Morgan, went and got a job he was one of the first 10 drivers in the Baltimore UPS hub. Remember that, I think it's the Catonsville hub or something like that? I forget, Hunt Valley. I think it's Hunt Valley. He was one of the first 10 drivers. He ascended up the corporate ladder, and that's the type of ambition that you would have to give a $20 million check.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people out here, man. $5, I'm sorry, it doesn't do much for anyone.
Yeah.
But sometimes $5,000 would change somebody's life.
Yeah, it's a game changer. You
know what I'm saying? Like a $50,000 college savings plan might not cover your child's whole tuition. It should, but it's a start. But if you wrapped up in, I got to focus on everything in front of me and I can't plan for the future because I'm so wrapped up in my anxiety, it's like you're limiting yourself and you're holding your next generation back. And it creates this trickle effect, like this domino effect that just keeps y'all in the same social strata, the same financial situation. Like everyone is just gonna be just like you. At what point does it stop? So stop the cycle. Consider doing the 7 baby steps. He got a program. It's called Financial Peace University. It's $130. You don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it. It's a small investment into yourself.
It will probably behoove you.
Yeah. Small investment to yourself can go a long way. Hey, you remember when you started investing into yourself, man?
When I started investing to myself,
man, you start going to the gym, right? You have a routine. You're waking up, right? You're going to the gym, you're meditating,
studying,
studying,
right?
Just just executing, knowing what I want to do, what I want to be.
Went back to school.
Went back to school, executed that.
Graduated.
5.0 every year. Graduated. Moved on. Now we here.
Yeah, you know what? It's people accomplish one thing in one realm of their life, and they feel a sense of accomplishment that gives them the idea that like they can ignore all the other fires that are burning. I've used this example in my life so many times. Like it, at various stages of my life, it's felt like it's a house fire on the block. It's like 5 house fires, and instead of me, trying to put all of them out slowly, I'm putting one out completely, and then all the other ones are getting destroyed. So the minute that you can take a step back from the situation and strategize as to how am I going to put out all of these fires over time, it just becomes more easy. It becomes more easy to deal with problems as they arise. So you can't be an expert in one area. My mama told me like 6 months ago that you got to be great at everything. And I really hated that she said that to me at that point, because I was dominating in my savings.
Yeah.
I was dominating. I was like, man, what you talking about? And I sat back. I ain't say nothing. I just sat back. I was like, she right. Like, in order to be the type of person that I'm trying to be, you can't neglect something.
Yeah.
Because then it just gets bigger.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, you dominate one, you move on. Dominate the next thing.
And that's the benefit of this baby steps. The biggest step for me, and I think the one that's the most impactful, is step 2. Baby step number 2, paying off all your debt, the debt snowball. Just because that's where you really, that's your training. That's where you're increasing your capacity. You're realizing that the problem felt more difficult than it actually was. And that's how it always is, bro. It's always like that. That weight bench you gave me a couple months ago, it was rocking. Like it had a little wobble. And one of my clients noticed it. And I had noticed it too. But I ain't never really upset. I ain't never flip it over and just try to fix it. Because I was just avoiding it. He left. I was like, man, dang. Because he didn't even want to use the bench because it was rocking. So luckily I had another one and we used it. I was like, nah, I can't have 2 benches in the gym, so I got to fix this. As soon as I flipped that joint over, bro, it was a little leg needed to be screwed in. That's how it is.
Just like that.
That's how it is. It's always like that.
Anything that you paying attention to, man.
Yeah, man. It's no way you going to put in all this work and ain't nothing going to happen. God bless.
Write it down.
You can't wait your whole life to make a change.
Believe in yourself.
Innovate with integrity and intentionality.